Rhythms is a movement meditation practice. I like to call it a movement meditation practice because essentially it's about moving. It's about connecting with the movement in the body and actually the movement through all of life. And a meditation practice because essentially a meditation is about quietening down the mind. And my teacher, Gabrielle Roth, the creator of this practice, would say the fastest way to still the mind is to move the body, which for me personally has proven true. It's the time when I can, it's the most direct route for me to quieten down the mind space and rest into the wisdom of the body, into the container of the body, and to allow all that energy to move through. There's 5 rhythms, 5 kind of energetic landscapes to move in. The first one we call flowing, which is really it's the foundation. It's where we begin. We find our feet in that rhythm. We connect with the inner world of the body and also with the earth body. So it's that opportunity to really ground and reconnect. And it's a very continuous rhythm. So we're moving in this continuum of movement where there's no beginnings and no endings. And really actually just like life. The way I see life is that there is no beginning and no ending. Even in the transition into death is just another gateway into something that is continually moving. So this is the movement meditation of flowing is how to stay in a constant flow. And the 5 rhythms also relate to the elements. It is an elemental practice, it's a shamanic practice, and in all shamanic practices we're working with the element. Rhythm of flowing, we're connected with the earth element. It's grounding, we connect with the earth of the body and the cycles of this earth body as it moves through us. And so from this foundation of flowing, we move into the next rhythm, which we call staccato, which is a much more percussive rhythm. We connect with the fire, which is the light and the spark and the heat and the passion of that element of fire. It's where we begin to express out into the world. It's like bringing the inner world out. And we find our clear definition, our spine and our heart. And the way that moves in the body is much more percussive. We're finding our shapes and our angles and our lines, and it's a rhythm that connects us with our boundaries, our yes and our no. So we can feel our intention and feel our power in that. So there's a beautiful, it's the rhythm of clarity. Essentially, it's the rhythm of clarity. From that we move into the rhythm of chaos, which for me is really truly the alchemical rhythm of this practice. For me it's where everything changes because we let go. We surrender to that which is bigger than we are. I like to call it surrendering to God, surrendering to the Creator, surrendering to life, we let our head go. And in that, it's symbolic of letting go of everything we think we know. We work with the element of water. And this is like this capacity to completely let go. You know, it's like water is always following the path of least resistance. It's in a continuous surrender, and in the rhythm of chaos we're connecting with that, and allowing this recalibration of like at a cellular level, you know, a recalibration, a reconfiguring. It's like we shake it all up so that everything can kind of find another natural way. It's powerful. It's a powerful rhythm. And from that reconstellating, we arrive into this rhythm we call lyrical, which is the expansion, which is suddenly we've connected with that bigger than ourselves, and we can have that capacity. We do have that capacity to expand into it. And in lyrical is the element of the air. It's the light. It's the lightness of being, the wind in the trees, and that kind of play of the air. And it's the rhythm of, I call it the shape-shifting rhythm. So it's like everything that we are has a new way, has a new expression, has a new dance, and it can just keep shifting. It's very spontaneous, it's very alive. It's for me, it's the antidote of taking ourselves too seriously, because we lighten up, and that's beautiful. You know, in flowing, we get to feel our really, you know, our depth, our really kind of deep, dark place. And that dark place is juicy. It's like the good dark, you know. It's like not the evil dark. It's the good dark. And in lyrical, by the time we come to lyrical, we're connected like so much more with our light. And both of those are so precious. So, yeah, from this expanded space of lyrical, we find ourselves in what I feel is the container for all of it, which is the rhythm of stillness. And as a movement meditation practice, we continue to move through this rhythm we call stillness. But what we're moving with is the awareness of that still point that exists at the core of all life, and from which all life dances. So we can continue to follow that spirit, that magic, and how that is when we can really slow down and we feel it at you know, like at a cellular level. And it's this merging of body with spirit in this rhythm. Very, very sacred, very, very beautiful. And what can often happen, because what I've noticed is we tend not to be so comfortable with that place. And it's a time when people can tend to check out and lie on the floor and, you know, just feel like the dance is over. But if we can stay in that exquisite place, it's the most magic. It's like the whole point. It's the whole point of this practice, to arrive in that moving stillness. In stillness, we're connecting with the element of ether, which, like the rhythm of stillness contains all the rhythms, the element of ether is containing all of the elements. So these 5 rhythms also take us through the whole cycle of life. We call that cycles, the cycles map in this practice. So the rhythm of flowing is connecting with our birth and kind of babyhood. It's that time of when we're really it's just us and the connection with the mother. So our sacred teacher in that stage of life is the mother, and flowing is a connection with the mother and with the Mother Earth, and so they all, you know, they all weave in. And staccato is related to childhood. When we really start to assert ourselves, you see that in childhood when children start to kind of be more assertive, they start to have a sense of their boundaries, they ask for what they want, in fact demand what they want sometimes. So it's kind of that more coming out. And the sacred teacher in that is the father. So the rhythm of chaos obviously is associated with the stage of adolescence, when our world, our inner world, our outer world so often feels in kind of a turmoil. You know, we often can't make sense of what's going on. It's there's a real reconstellating. The physical body is changing, hormones are kicking in. There's a shift from being connected more with the parents to being connected more with the peers and the friends and the self. So that is that stage of life. We sometimes get a bit more rebellious. We want to break free. We want to break ourselves free. And from that we move into lyrical, which we associate with maturity. It's when we really have that sense of ourselves. We're more expanded within our own being, and we're more confident in the world. It's like if we've really done all these previous stages well, we really know ourselves, we feel comfortable in our skin, and from that we can be really spontaneous with life. And stillness is associated with old age and death, and that is that time of really kind of inward reflection, and the connection with spirit, as we really start to make our journey to return to spirit. Five Rhythms, we also work with the emotions. We call that the heartbeat map of this practice. In flowing, we work with fear, which is when we feel fear, we're really needing to tune into that wisdom of the body, and often there's a coming in, and we need to heighten our awareness, our body awareness. In staccato, we work with the energy of anger, and that is, you know, it's the warrior energy and the standing up for what we believe in, what we will allow and what we won't allow. You know, it's a warrior rhythm, and it's an important rhythm, and it's an important emotion in a healthy way. In chaos, we work with sadness, which is sometimes interesting for people to get their head around, because sometimes we feel really amazing in chaos when we dance that rhythm. But it's unlocking sadness when quite often when we're letting go of something, which is the quality of chaos, we feel a sadness. Even if we know it's a good thing, when we need to, you know, we're letting go of a relationship that doesn't work, or work that doesn't work. Often there's a sadness, and that's that quality of letting go, and it's beautiful. That sadness, the sacred tears, which also ties into the element of water. And in lyrical, when we've been through those, when we really can allow ourselves the full expression of that, then we can really experience the full expression of joy, right? It's not until, you know, it's like we don't know happiness unless we know kind of grief. So it's like that. When we really can let ourselves feel the core of those emotions, then we can really expand into our fullest joy, which is lyrical. And the lightness of that, the light of that, the expansion of that, the beauty of that, the joy, the radiance. And in stillness, we are connecting with the energy of compassion. And again, it's like the compassion that holds all the other emotional qualities. We actually can't really know compassion unless we've deeply experienced all of those other emotions. And from that place, you know, it's like the full heart opening. It's something I feel that is really important with this practice, and it's something we understand in the body. It's something that if we really tune into our lineage, our ancestors, is this trusting of the body. We've become so head-oriented that it's like we're having to remember how to trust the body. And this practice is very much about that. And so that's my very strong invitation when we go into this, is how to just find our way to trust our feet, to trust our body, to trust the earth body that's under our feet, and to move from that place. So yeah, if you have any questions, queries, if you want to connect with me and find out where I'm teaching, holding classes and workshops, you can find me on Facebook, 5Rhythms Wake Up and Dance, or 5rhythms.com, which is the global 5Rhythms website, and I'm on there.